This morning I'm going to take you on my little morning routine in my potting patio. Every morning I come out, I have my coffee, I take a walk through the potting patio, and I'll tell you some of the things that I notice and check and put aside to take care of later. Let's go. So this is how we get to my potting patio. Sorry for the very bright light. It is an east-facing window, and of course it is the morning time. But this is my potting patio. So I actually start top to bottom, and I just check to see if there are any insects or any leaves that aren't seeming to do so well. I know that my reflector here, the two older leaves are starting to brown, but those two new leaves are actually sprouting some new growth there, if you can see that. And then I go down each shelf and I have a look. There's my Burle Marx variegata. Sprouted a new leaf overnight. How cool is that? Just unfurling. Same with this one. It's got two new leaves. Pretty good variegation there, so I'm happy with that. Let's see, the Soderoy looks good. Let's see how heavy it is. I'll do another day with watering, I think. My Aglaonema pictum tricolor. Let's see, that one's looking pretty good. Again, we've got, I think it's going to flower actually, but it does have a new leaf here. So that's good. Any pests? Looking good. We've got the Philodendron verrucosum looking good as well. This one's in sphagnum moss, so it tends to stay more moist for longer. Let's just give it I like the weight test. I think it's quick and easy and pretty accurate. We've got the painted lady. Ooh, she got a new leaf overnight that's unfurling. I love this plant. This is probably one of my most favorite plants. Looking pretty good. Hopefully she'll attach to that moss pole here. All right, down here we've got the Philodendron Florida Beauty. My Plougmanii. This leaf is looking pretty sad, as you can see it. It did have some spider mites here, but they've been treated, and I believe that they're gone at this point. Just the markings from leaves are left, so I always check it though, because it's kind of sad looking. New leaf had some spider mites here, but again, I've been treating it, so I don't think that's a problem anymore. That one's still looking good, and we've got some new growth popping up here. We've got my Syngonium albopodophyllum looking good, has a new leaf, happy with that. It's a good weight. My Melanochrysum here, which I had to pull off one of the last leaves that were on there, but it has a new leaf coming. You can see a little mushroom in there, so I must have been overwatering it. Splash Gordon Philodendron. Let's see, it's got another new leaf coming right there if you can see it, and this is its newest leaf. Oh my gosh, they seem so happy. Astatum Silver Sword. New leaf coming. Let's see if you can see it. There you go. All right. The Burle Marx, just traditional green form. I keep hoping that this plant is going to produce some variegation because that's why I imported it, but you know, I guess not. Moving on to the second shelf, we've got some odds and ends here that look okay. I always just have a look and see if I see anything that's drastically changed overnight. I love to see the new growth points coming out and seeing any new baby leaves unfurling. The Siltepecana is, the new growth looks great. The older growth is browning. I'm actually not quite sure if that's normal, but no pests, moisture's fine. Really, it's been quite happy there over the last few months, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's check the philodendron corner as well. We've got the squamiferarum. We've got a new leaf just about ready to start unfurling, maybe the next day or so. I don't know if I should tell these plants that there's a hurricane coming, so they should hang on to as much foliage as possible. But again, let's check the weight of these guys to give me an idea of how much moisture is in these terracotta pots. This is my philodendron pink princess, which has been through quite a trial: root rot, repotting, water propagation. So it's pretty small considering this is one of the first ones I ever got, but new leaf coming out right there, which is pretty exciting. Let's see what it does. Unfortunately, it did have a half moon leaf that fell off. This is my Gloriosum. Absolutely love it. It's actually one of my favorites. It's pretty hardy. Let's see, any new growth coming out? Yep, we've got a little growth point there. This one I think had some leaf miners when it arrived, but you know, I treated it for insects and leaf miners. No change, so maybe, who knows, maybe that's just the natural patterning of the leaves. This is one of my really sad melanochrysums. Again, this one I'm struggling with. Out of my 3, as you saw, the one on the other shelf just had the 1 leaf unfurling. My guess is root rot. This pot is actually pretty heavy. I don't know if it's not draining properly or what, but over this weekend, maybe even during the hurricane, when I'm stuck inside, I might bring these inside and do some repotting with them. Let's see, Paradiso Verde. Weight looks good. We've got a new growth point there. Let's see, Golden Goddess. Can I get in here? Oh, that one's pretty, doing well. Oh, we've got a new growth point. Hey! Let's see, right there, if you guys can see it. Yep. We might have to take her and move her off the shelf because she's going to grow too tall for the shelf here in a little bit. All right, let's move down. Sorry for being stuffy, guys. In the morning, the dust, I was mowing yesterday, so I think my allergies are kicking up. This is Alocasia Corner. We've got Pink Dragon, Polly, Tiny Dancers, Maharani. I think we've got an Adora in the back. It might be a Gigantea. Black Velvet Reginala, and Lauterbachia. So those are my alocasias. We've got some new growth, leaf unfurling Black Velvet. That's good. Let's see the water, because when these guys put out new leaves, they tend to just suck up the water, and they really, really, really get thirsty. All right, the Maharani has a new leaf coming out. That one could probably use some water today. Their leaves tend to curl up a little bit when they're thirsty. See that one on the right there? The rest of them look pretty good. These are older leaves that I expect will continue to turn brown and then fall off. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we've got new leaves all around. Got this guy that's going to unfurl here from the Pink Dragon. And on my Polly, we've got a new leaf that's coming out. Very nice. Again, checking the water. Those are pretty heavy. I think they're good. All right, moving on. This is my Calathea rack. We've got all of these beauties here. We've got some Fucata, Orbifolias in the back. If you've seen my 12 Calathea tour, you'll know all of them a little bit more one-on-one. Ornata. We've got the Sad Sanguinii in the back. We're going to just check these guys for pests, because right now, July, August time in Florida, it is just absolute mealybug and spider mite season. So I usually check these guys. The ones with the purple backs on the leaves are pretty easy to spot whether they have bug infestations, and because they're calatheas and their leaves are relatively sensitive, it's pretty easy to tell once they have an infestation or the start of one, because they dramatically change. See, that's my Rosiopicta, looking good, happy with that. And moving on down is my big kahuna, I call her. This is my Alboborzigiana monstera. Big aerial roots. Sorry for the shadows, guys. But I wanted to make sure she was getting enough light, so I put her down here. If I put her up higher, the light tends to become more shadowed up high earlier. So because she is so tall, I had to put her down. Let's see, do we have any new growth coming? We've got a new aerial root coming here. A nice little hump here off the newest leaf. So hopefully there sprouts a new leaf here in the next couple of days. That's the oldest leaf that she came with. Massive aerial root. I think she'll need a new moss pole here soon. And but looking pretty good so far. Moving on. So I checked my propagations. I've got some, oops, sorry about that, guys. I've got some Hawaiian pothos, giant climbing Hawaiian pothos there that a nursery gave me some cuttings for free. These are my other propagations. I just checked the water, which they probably, actually today's changing water day, so I apologize, they look a little muddy. But to see what's going on, see if we've got any new leaves, or not leaves, roots I should say. Let's see, these are actually lemon trees that I propagated. We've got the Ruby Elastica that's propagating from leaf cuttings. Oh boy, need to definitely get some water on there quick. Oh, we have a friend. Oh, guys, check it out. Ready? That guy, that's been eating my leaves. Oh, we're just gonna take you out so that you don't get to any of my more expensive plants. I'm sure glad that you were eating only my lemon tree. Oh my gosh, you've done a number on it overnight. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you check your plants every day, especially if you live outside. So we're going to set him down now, continue on our tour, and then we're going to dispose of him. I just want to see if he's done any more damage. My goodness. Oh, we've got, that one looking a little sad. We've got a Tradescantia here, Zabrina, that flopped over, so hopefully let's get enough water there. All right, there we go. Okay. Oops. Those are my CD covers that I use for little cloches. We've got some things propagating in there just to see. We've got an albo leaf. I know it's nearly impossible for this to have any sort of stem tissue on it to grow roots, but you know what? I thought it fell off. I might as well, right? There's no harm. Yeah, I mean, it's still there. Not really seeing a whole lot, but a girl can hope. Got the Cebu Blue hanging plants, some propagations I've got going on here, some Hawaiian bush and some pothos. All right, everything's looking good. Ooh, we've got a new growth on the Aglaonema Sapphire Susan, this one's called. Ooh, new leaf coming out on the Moonlight Philodendron. All right, the caladiums are looking good. My fern, my little ivy. My Sansevieria, which is a little beat up at the moment, but what can you do? Let's see. Let me just have a look at these are my plants that are ready to go. So these are the ones that I have for sale or I'm holding for people. And so I like to check those to make sure there haven't been any changes. We've got some Monstera, Siltepecana, some Piper, Elastica Taniki, some Aglaonemas and some caladiums there. Gosh, those leaves are so darn big. Wow. And we'll just check these guys out, make sure they don't have any pests. Okay. I'm gonna head back to this station over here, just have a look at my propagation boxes. Flip these guys open. All right, nothing much going on in here. These are just some alocasia corms that I had planted. They haven't done anything just yet, but no, nothing yet. We'll seal that back up for the day. Okay, and here we've got some Rhaphidophora tetras. No, I'm sorry, this is the Adansonii that we've got propagating there in water. These guys are so hardy. So hopefully I can prop them up here and put them in pots in the next couple of weeks or so, once the root systems are nice and established. I try to choose cuttings that have some already established aerial roots before I put them in water. And what I've found with the Adansonii is the aerial roots will very quickly, depending on the level of humidity, become water roots, so they're pretty easy to propagate. I just want to make sure that they're nice and strong before I stick them in soil. Oh, we've got one of my Alocasia Zabrina leftover bulbs from a rotted stem. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if anything is going to be happening here, but that'll be for another video. Keep that in my little mini prop box. What do we have here? This one's kind of warm. All right. right, we've got some Hawaiian giant pothos. This one's pretty rotted. Yeah, that one's rotted. I'll take care of it later. Let's see, what are these guys up to? That one's rotted. I think we've got a viable little root there. So this is telling me too much moisture. Now this guy looks okay. Roots are not mushy. Roots are looking pretty good. So, all right. Well, for now, we're just going to put that back on and carry on here. All right. We've got, now over here, and this is a little hard to see, but these are the ones I've got growing. These are my baby plants, whether it's from propagations or cuttings or whatever it may be. They're not ready yet to be sold, but they're just growing, doing their thing. So I'm avidly checking them every day to make sure that the moisture's right, no pests, that sort of a thing, to give them the best start we can. Sorry, we're looking right into that east-facing sunlight, but it's about 8:30 in the morning, and this is perfect for them. The sun's not quite strong enough to burn, but it's plenty bright so that they can get all the energy they need and hopefully get a really good start here. So on this shelf, we've got some polys, some moonlights, some adansonii, variegated ginger. Let's see, Calathea zebrina, polka dot plants, some Calathea, I think they're Maui or Hawaii, or Maui, I think it's called. Some Scindapsus pictus, some Aurea, Hawaiian snow bush. Looking right into the sun, we've got some adansonii, some Xanadu, fairly common things. Quite honestly, I'm trying to reduce my inventory, so to speak, so that I can then focus a little bit more on the plants that really bring me joy. The variegated plants, the philodendrons, the anthuriums. I would love to get a queen anthurium. Let's see, let's look at the hanging plants here. It's a Florida ghost. I know it's hard to tell because of the light. Does the soil feel like on that guy? Pretty good. Sometimes I even stick my hand in the bottom of that hole to see how dry it is. This is my Maranta, red Maranta. Pretty common, but how cool is that? Looking pretty good. Need some water. All right. And that concludes my morning routine. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like it, and stay tuned for more houseplant content from a fellow houseplant enthusiast. This has been Monica coming to you from my potting patio. Talk to you later.